In business, there's an assessment practice known as the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. It's what you do to give yourself an objective bird's eye view of where you stand amongst competition. In the case of the Vikings, the other 31 teams in the league. Gonna do a SWOT analysis for the Vikings. The strengths: number one, playmakers on offense, two of which should be first-round picks in fantasy football this year, Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. Jefferson, the best receiver in football, going for 2K this year. And Cook is also great, but will have an expanded role in the passing game. His all-purpose yards are going to be insane this year. The second-tier playmakers that you have are still elite-level talents in Thielen and Osborne, and you have a top 10 quarterback in Kirk Cousins, throws for 4K and 30 touchdowns every year. In fact, the last 2 years with a crap defense, the only reason that the Vikings were competitive was because of the offense led by the quarterback, which leads to strength number two, a defense that is not a total disaster. That's a strength for this team right now. You have two edge rushers that should combine for 30-plus sacks this year, a promising young secondary along with proven veterans. They won't have the worst two-minute defense in league history, nowhere to go but up. The last strength for this team is coaching. Kevin O'Connell's play calling will be a major asset in making this high-powered offense go. More no-huddle drives, pedal-to-the-metal offense, looking to score opposed to looking to hold on, should be a top 5 offense in the league. Weaknesses: starting center, going to see constant pressure up the middle, especially on passing downs. Going to require babysitting from your guards. Not great. Tight end depth after Irv Smith Jr., I trust nobody. If he has to take a breather, you're better off using no tight ends except to block on run plays. And defensive line. With Armon Watts, I thought the D-line was at least competent. Now with him gone, relying on guys such as Jonathan Bullard or Ross Blacklock as a starter is doing yourself a disservice. I think the run defense is going to struggle. Not ideal against teams like Green Bay twice, Miami, Dallas, Indianapolis. And now for the opportunities. A healthy Irv Smith Jr. has the talent to make himself a household name, bring an extra addition to the already loaded group of playmakers. On defense, multiple fronts, 3-4, 4-3, triple safety sets. And lastly, the NFC. After teams like San Francisco, LA, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, the NFC is wide open. Of course, you're going to have whatever team screws up the least in the NFC East, but that leaves 2 spots up for grabs, and with the remaining teams, the Vikings are virtually a lock to make the playoffs. And lastly, threats, which I think comes down to one thing within the Vikings organization: a new first-time head coach who may be in over his head, maybe needs a season to figure it out. New defense going from a 4-3 to 3-4. The learning curve, both on offense and defense, may be too great to overcome, thus hurting the lofty expectations we may have for the Vikings this year. 2022 ends up being a fart, paving the way for that breakout year in 2023. Your thoughts in the comments section below. We're back at it tomorrow. We'll see you then.